All right, everybody. Welcome to the 10th episode of the Deep Seated Podcast.
What's up?
Fuck, these nostalgic intros are hitting me right in the feels.
I think we started a wave here.
Yeah, I think it's become a thing. Oh my god! Yeah, just randomly again with that one. Watched an episode the other day.
How did that come out? Just a suggested.
I
feel like that would be a totally suggested video. You're like, holy fuck, I forgot this existed, right?
I was showing my buddy this website that I've been using to stream cartoons off of, and it was just like, oh, let's just see what's on here. And then like he was like, oh, I wonder if Tailspin's on there, and I was like, oh hell yeah, it is. Dude. So we definitely took some dabs and watched an episode.
Tailspin.
30-year-old men getting high as fuck watching Tailspin. So good.
Darkwing Duck, is that on there? Remember that?
Better believe it's on there, man. Boy. I am the terror that flaps in the night.
So sick. What else? What was the one with like Scrooge McDuck and it follows his nephews?
Oh,
the intros like him diving into his like
yeah. That was
like
one of my favorite shows. Why
like,
am I fucking struggling for it?
Yeah, I totally spaced on the name too. But I remember like
so now
as far as intros, that one, like I remember that intro was sick too.
Why is and
remember we were talking about Animaniacs?
Yes.
Right? The 100 just did a
shit.
collab with the Animaniacs. And I was like, after we were talking about it, I was like, whoa.
Scrooge McDuck.
Coincidence. What the fuck is it called?
Why am I searching for why can't I remember it? Everybody that's listening to this right now is probably just like, They're fucking idiot.
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
Okay, I just woke up. I'm still putting caffeine in my face. Come on. DuckTales. Oh my god. You know what? I'm with all those people that were making fun of us, trying to not remember trying to remember the name of it, because how could you fucking remember DuckTales?
Yeah.
So good. Let's Scrooge McDuck and Money from 1967? Yo,
is it
what? Yo,
Scrooge McDuck and Money.
What is this?
What is this?
So for piaster, dollar, ruble, or yen, if they stop moving, it's disaster till they're moving again. It's gotta circulate.
What is about to happen? What?
What's going on?
Dude, how did they animate that?
It's crazy, right? Like some of the stuff, I think it's like I think they're actually animating pictures.
Yeah. You know what this looks like? It looks like fucking Evil Dead shit.
Right? I think that it might be stop animation with actual cutout pictures. Wow.
I love the audio quality back then too, eh?
Yeah, like for sure. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. This was in 1967, dude.
That's insane.
It was so crazy. Wow. Okay, we're gonna
yeah.
watch so much of this, obviously.
Just watch a full episode right now. 14 minutes.
What is going on?
Is this still?
Yeah, this is still it. Whoa, is he
caveman shit? They're like time traveling?
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
That's totally like real money falling.
Yeah, it is.
Filmed, eh?
With a filter on it or some shit.
Yeah.
Okay, man, that's crazy. Like
the old songs and shit. They just would
randomly they'd
pump out all these songs, eh? Every episode.
Oh, dude, absolutely, man. But like, I forget what podcast it was on that I was listening to. Like, could you imagine living in a time where all you had to listen to was old timey radio? That like really creepy stuff.
That's all you know, right?
And, like, it's almost depressing even just listening to it. So if that's like all that you had available,
well, it's like remember War of the Worlds?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
The guy that did that.
Hey, Rogan, come here.
Hey, quit it. The guy that did it, and it was a joke, but people thought it was a real.
People thought it was legit.
A real broadcast. People were like losing their minds, thinking there's like an alien invasion.
Oh my
Just
gosh. Because yeah,
that's
like,
all
that's
you
all
have
you knew.
is, right?
That was your only medium. So like when we're sitting here complaining
the
about
world's first troll.
Yeah. Like I'm sitting here fucking always complaining about, well, I know you complain about sometimes too, about like the CGI in movies. And we're like, man, that shit ain't look real. Like, so then
So distracting.
what they knew at the time for their special effects was through the radio and shit. So they're like getting super swayed by all this shit. Just like, whoa,
Totally.
like, whoa, the world's fucking getting attacked by aliens. Like, this shit's crazy.
Right?
Man, so you know how like everything just like kind of like seems to pop up really randomly, like in full circle kind of thing. Like we'll always talk about something, and then like the next day it like pops up in the news or like whatever it is, like just weird things
And
like
then
that.
Animaniacs.
Yeah.
Perfect example. I saw within the same week.
And then the same week they just fucking
like,
collab.
what?
So last week we brought up the ever fucking amazing, glorious era of soap shoes. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So fucking
Wait, what?
yesterday, one of these vloggers that daily vloggers, I think I might have mentioned him to you before. He's a professional skateboarder and vlogs and stuff like that. John Hill, legit as fuck, makes like the most quality videos, and he just recently moved to New York too. So his vlogs, just like if you live in New York, and you can literally just film New York, and your vlog's gonna be better than anybody's, you know. Totally. But so anyways,
and if you skate New York,
right, so fucking he's been checking out fucking Vancouver and Vancouver. He's been checking out New York and like with all their skate spots and stuff. So anyways, in yesterday's episode, he fucking, it's about he gets a pair of soap shoes in the mail and fucking goes around New York trying to learn how to soap shoe.
What?
Yeah, and then he like does like cheesy skateboarding tricks that are combined soap shoe grinds to like acid drop onto a skateboard. Like and he
like you like 50-50 ledge, then jump off your board and then soap shoe the rest kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. And it just goes to show you like how extra lame they were, because he's like a professional skateboarder who's like very, very competent at what he does. Like he's really good and like very like underplays his skill.
Who's he ride for?
Revive Skateboards, which is a newer company that was founded by a YouTuber who started his own companies, and he has like millions of subscribers, and it's actually become like a pretty big name in the scene. Like he has Revive Skateboards, Force Wheels, and he just started up another company
this year. Too. That's cool.
Yeah. And then he just started up another company this year. I believe it was called 3 Block. And then that's like skate clothing, everything. And then, so he's been using his YouTube influence, which is all around skateboarding, daily skateboarding videos. This is Andy Schrock. No. Yes. Yeah. Andy Schrock. Schrock. Yes. And,
Turok?
And that's how it led me into all the other people, because I watched his videos from time to time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really cool to be able to see somebody blow something like that up, where he'd been doing his daily videos to like get to that point, and then now he's sponsoring all these other YouTubers, and then like that leads me into that, which random story. But yeah, back to the soap shoes. Seeing him like try to fucking run around on soap shoes, he was just like, I feel so embarrassed. Everything I try,
so self-conscious about it.
Like, everything I try feels so whack.
Right? Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah.
And then on top of it too, they had like the crazy 90s styling to the shoe. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, it's just chunk.
Let me see if I can just even find a quick clip from it. Like, it's so funny.
Just looks like a fucking mega block piece.
My cat's going, like, just look at the fucking thumbnail.
Is this a guy that you watch like like daily?
Yeah,
you do daily stuff.
He does daily
weekly?
stuff, and then like I don't know if I always watch it every day.
Oh shit! Nose grind nollie flip.
But I definitely fucking watch his videos frequently. My cat's losing his shit.
Oh my god, that's the soap shoe, eh?
Yeah, look at these things. They look like fucking hiking shoes. So he's trying to learn on this fucking rail inside of his office, which he now, like, it's so crazy again, like how everything kind of like works out. I started watching him, and then like I was a huge fan of Casey Neistat, blah blah blah. He now just recently, this office building that he moved in is now, he got into this building, and it's the exact same building as Casey Neistat's
like his workshop
thing, and he's now become friends with Casey. And same thing with his other YouTuber Peter McKinnon from Canada, who's now blown up. He's up to over 1 million subscribers in 9 months. and fucking makes like camera videos.
Shit.
He's now become friends with all of these guys, and
they all
is
just
now
do shit together.
Yeah, and then so now on this new project that Casey's working on, like he's like become best friends, or like there's this like online bromance between him and Peter McKinnon.
The bromance.
Yeah,
the bromance.
And then
real.
and then John Hill's worked his way in somehow, and it's just so weird because like everybody that I like randomly would watch or was a bit of inspiration has just been like, okay, no, now we're all working together and hanging out.
It's weird. It's weird how shit like that works out sometimes.
Like some like 5 random people that most people like, you know, if you're not into YouTube and stuff, maybe haven't heard of, but it's just interesting. Like, yeah, like he's out here trying to do fucking legends and shit, and it's so awkward.
Right? It's because you're like, okay, are there like people watching me? Like, he's so self-conscious that you can just tell from his
he just hates it,
the way he's standing and shit. He's just like
it.
Even he's cringing.
It's so many activities. Like he's just so he eventually gets out to like this fucking oh my god, Rogan. Look at him, he's just like
does that count?
He just hates it.
This one actually is, this one's a real handrail. Like I can actually get worked on this one.
You calling that one fake?
Nah, dude, he's the homie for sure. This one's actually scary. This one
He's the homie for sure.
I feel like people who experience soapers would be like, yo, chill, don't do that. Oh, chill, dude. Terrifying.
Because he's
But
like,
you know, there's people that are watching this show like that have like the hardcore soapsters. They still do it. They're like, fuck yeah, right?
yeah, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna try to look up some videos on how to do this, and there'd be people just showing the shoes. He's like, nobody's actually doing it. Like, nobody's out soaping, bro. Like, I need to see how to do this shit.
Are they just doing like reviews of the shoes?
Yeah.
Applying the skill. Right? Yeah, I feel that's so legit. You just be like, I feel so goofy just running up to this, right?
And then when he does it, he like lands and just like stops, and he's like,
yeah, because you don't roll away, right? You're just like, does that count?
I think he even goes like, oh, I'm gonna try 180 out, and then it's just like it gets so lame. But it's so funny because like he was so hyped to make the video that it like it just
that kind of counts,
They add the heavy metal.
Yeah. When you're like expecting it to be a little more like intense, and you're like, no, this was actually as lame as I expected it to be.
Yeah, because like, what do you do? Like, are you supposed to? Are you supposed to run out, or like?
It was like when we were watching that Ryan Jesmus guy, and he did the somersault. Me and you both lost it. All right, that's enough of this one.
Yeah. Okay, Willem and I decided to meet.
But yeah, just like seriously, so random. Like, hadn't thought about soap shoes in years. We start talking about it in the podcast, and like days later, fucking John Hill was like, "Yo, I got some soap shoes."
That was the last episode, so
yeah. So it's
Sunday.
like, yeah.
So 2 days after you saw it.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a fucking weird coincidence.
Yeah,
and
dude.
even the Halloween episode, Casey did with the speeder bike.
Yeah. We were talking about the Super
about
73s and shit, those bikes.
And we were talking about the speeder bikes and shit.
Yep.
So I was talking about Return of the Jedi, and then I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Well, we were talking about Return of the Jedi, and then on top of that, I was showing you the electric bikes that they use to turn into the speeder bikes. So just the world's too small, man. The world's too fucking small if you allow it to be, you know?
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, like I was gonna mention to you the other day that like I'm like, remember when I was before we started the podcast, it's like I had a dream. Wait, no, I'm gonna bring this up the podcast.
Yeah.
That I tweeted about this like literally 2 days ago. By the way, you should be following me on Twitter if you're not. You might want to do so. But I tweeted out I had a dream that I met Kanye. It was randomly on like an airplane, and he was like, so we start shooting the shit. And I don't remember like the full context of it or whatever, but the part that stood out was he was wearing these Yeezys that I'd never seen before, and they were I ended up looking and they got the tag on it, and like they had like a little consortium
like a colorway
tag.
you've never seen, or
yeah. No, a colorway I'd never seen before. It was like the V2 350s, and when Adidas does these consortium collabs, I should be wearing one of my pairs right now, but they'll have like this hole punch tag on the tongue, and then I'll have the names of the two collaborators. So when he lifted it up, I saw that it had Parlay written on the one, and Parlay is this a company that Adidas has been doing a lot of collabs with recently. I have one of the pairs myself, where they take ocean plastic. Like, all that shit that goes into the
recycled.
So they take all that plastic before it gets into the ocean, and like they reclaim it from beaches and shit like that, and then they recycle those fibers into fibers to make either clothing or, in this case, shoes. So fucking.
So with the Yeezy.
So I had like this dream where I'm like,
Yeezy.
where I was like, yo, it'd be so sick. Like I saw Kanye with these parlay Yeezys, and I put out the tweet about it. And then 2 days fucking.
Wait, so in your dream you saw it and you tweeted in your dream?
No, I tweeted when I woke up. I'm like, yo, I met Kanye. I met Kanye with some fucking parlay Yeezys. And then so 2 days later, or today, this morning, I just woke up. The Yeezy Mafia tweets out new parlay collab coming out. It wasn't fucking Yeezys though, but it was these new. It's like my other second favorite silhouette from Adidas, and I'm like, it's close.
Wow,
that's pretty close. No, it's not quite it, but
right.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's close enough.
It's close enough to freak me out. That's all. I love that shit.
Fucking weird.
It's coincidence is only the illusion of coincidence.
Yeah.
But I'll go with.
I was gonna bring up too. You showed me your vlog, how you use the curb intro, and how we're talking about Seinfeld and stuff before. I was just like listening to music while driving to work yesterday. I had my phone on shuffle and have like 2,400 songs or something on my phone. So sometimes you could listen to shit for like a week and not hear one of like a song that you may want to on shuffle, but shit randomly comes up. And then I completely forgot about like the rapper Wale.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with a lot of his tunes, but I know who he is.
Okay, yeah. He had an album that was a concept album. Well, so the last one they did, the concept one, was it was like a partnership with Seinfeld, because him and Jerry Seinfeld are like friends.
Yeah.
And
I did hear about that.
Okay, yeah. So they did like a mixtape thing, and then he dropped this album called The Album About Nothing, and it was like this kind of Seinfeld-y text, and the cover is like, it's like both of them standing next to each other, but it's shot of just like their pants and their shoes. Yeah. So you can clearly tell it's Seinfeld, like the white sneakers.
He always had the white Nikes. Actually, he recently switched to Adidas.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, I think it was an older like comedians in cars getting coffee episode.
Yeah, he was wearing fucking Ultra Boost or some shit. I was so fucking hyped.
But yeah, that project is pretty sick. If you haven't heard it, it's called the album About
I'm gonna
Nothing.
have to check that out, because that's like my all-time favorite show.
Every song starts with like the something, like an episode of Seinfeld. It's like the Marble Rye, or you know what I mean. Like every song is titled the something, and then there's skits with Seinfeld on it, and then there's like voice clippings from episodes used and mixed into songs. That are like, it's really well done, dude. It's really well done. And then one of the songs randomly came on, and I was like, oh yeah, and I was like, fuck, I forgot how good the album is. Really good.
Yeah.
Like just in general, but as a
so then
like as a conceptual album, it's like really well done.
So it's all just more music based, but then it ties in Seinfeld themes kind of idea.
Yeah. Every song is titled something as a Seinfeld episode would be titled.
I see.
And then there'll be like whatever the song is kind of based around. We'll have like a sample, like a voice sample from an episode that has to do with the same theme. To tie into it, and then it'll have like Seinfeld doing like a little skit or something mixed in. It's like, it's really funny. It's really well done.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh yeah, fuck, I should tell him about that shit.
Oh hell yeah!
It's
I think I just heard about that one, like for like the first time, like maybe a week or so, a couple weeks ago, something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? Seinfeld's like friends with the rapper?
Yo, dude,
like best friends with him?
Yeah, they're like
homies.
They're homies for sure. Like they hang out and shit.
But I can see that though, because Seinfeld's like he likes what he likes, and when he fucking likes somebody, he's just like, yo, like what up?
Yeah. Like they have a song on there called "The White Shoes," and
right.
An intro of Seinfeld talking about his white shoes.
That's awesome.
And like how important it is to him, and then it goes into like Wale, because Wale used to work at like a sneaker shop as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Right, and and growing up in like a poor community, like you know, like he's talking about how like drug dealers would always have like the freshest shit, and that's like what you want because like you can't afford it. He's like, people having white shoes always stood out, and it's all about having them like fresh, like early 2000s, right? They gotta be like the fresh white. You gotta clean them, you know. So it's like that's an example of how they kind of tie everything together.
Yeah, I remember my introduction to that culture of like when you first started understanding like the white shoes, or even the simple one that would like still pisses people off is like the sticker on the hat.
Oh yeah.
When it was just because it was showed that it was a fresh hat, no fucking curve on the brim.
Yeah.
It was just like,
and with shoes too, they'd have the tags.
Yep.
But now that shit's come back.
I know.
And like the whole Virgil shit, right? How he has like the tags hanging off. It's like it's just come back. It's like people are like, oh, crazy.
Dude, you know what the funny thing was? Is there was even an interview with him. Like, apparently or allegedly where he said that you're like he didn't want the tag, like people to keep the tag on, and then everybody was like, yo, keep the tag on, bro, keep the tag on, bro,
because people did it back in the day.
It's easy, right? Bro. And you're just like, okay, well, I guess, dude, man, if we're talking about shit coming back, one thing that I hoped, I know fashion always works its way back around. One thing that's coming back, or I've seen some people trying to bring back.
What are you gonna say?
I had to clear my throat on that one.
Trying to guess what you're gonna say.
The ridiculously oversized baggy jeans.
Oh, dude, I called that.
I've been waiting for it for like
6-7 years ago. I was like, yo, watch this shit.
It's gonna come back, and I'm like, I don't want it to be.
It's been back in like skate culture,
but not the size they were though. Like fucking.
A lot of, well, not like the gangster, but
no, I'm talking about
like early 2000s, like. That whole style has come back in
100%.
Like it's like the dad jean.
I was just gonna say the dad jean, where they're either cuffed up but they're not tight. They're straight leg, cuffed, but then like up here, like you're flood panting it. Or they'll literally cut the jean or the dickies. They'll cut dickies.
But that's the Japanese tees.
Yeah, for sure. It's a mixture of the cultures.
Over there they chop them high.
Yeah.
Or they'll chop them like right at the ankle, and then they have the strings hanging down. Like it's
for sure, with the high sock underneath, and then which is dope. It's all its own thing. But I'm straight talking gangster styles, wearing
like a Nietzsche,
like you wearing 4XL jeans at least that are baggy fit. And I just saw a photo of like Travis Scott like baggy pumping up his new shoes. Like there's new Nikes that are coming out, and like he's got these jeans that are like this. And they're
crotches
like
down
just,
here.
Yeah. Like straight out of the fucking like 90s gangster era. Like, and I was just like, holy fuck. That's the first time I've seen somebody try and like to do the like almost Jinko jeans.
Like old fucking Woo wear and shit. Get the Tims, right?
Like, cause I mean, let's face it, like oversized shirts and tops have been back in forever. I don't think they ever really went out. You know what I mean? They've been around since the 80s.
It's more like just like new colorways and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the earth tones.
And then everybody was like, wait a minute, I can actually have pants that like fit properly and are comfortable and allow me to do things. And then it just made sense, right? So like that's why I'm like, man, I don't want to see that come back, because it like literally doesn't make sense. Like we're just like struggling to walk with these jeans that are fucking like, I did it back in the day, you know, like I'm down to see it all, but I was just like, I didn't think.
Interesting. See stuff come and go, right?
Well, to the point where fucking like I knew it always does come back, but the one that was funny to watch blow up again was overalls.
Just
like, ooh.
See, I remember having overalls as a kid.
Yeah.
And it was just like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but like nowadays it seems if you wear them, you're like trying to make a statement, and people like they would be like from afar, be like, yo, fucking, they'd laugh at you or something.
For sure.
But like back then you would just wear it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, it's just something I own.
These keep my pants up.
But
what, your pants don't have shoulder straps? What up?
What up?
Yeah, I always love that though, watching the ebb and flow of fashion. It's just so interesting, like fucking, because you get that nature, that judgmental nature from like everybody that thinks it's so outrageous, and you're like, no, that was actually just only 10 years ago that was fashionable or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you can.
One thing though that I'm like, that I see, that I just think is funny is the pre-paint splatter jeans.
Oh yes.
Oh god.
Yeah. That one's always kind of made me fucking like, or like the ones where
if you have different colors, it's like literally as if you were like, these are the pants I paint in for the last year. Like, you know, when I'm closed off, like focused on shit, I get like blue and white and pink, just splattered, whatever. But when it's like strategically, you know, done, like mass produced,
I want to feel like an artiste too, right? You know, like
that one. And
it's the funny thing too. It's even like I'm down with some.
I get the like pre-ripped and shit like that.
But I was just about to say,
the paint splatter is the one that I'm like.
But even that though, there's ones that are done. You know what I mean? When they're like so like they just look like somebody took a pair of pants and like went slice, rip. Like you know what I mean? When it just looks so badly, obviously just mass produced. It's not even done properly. Yeah, that's the worst one because you're just like that's almost even worse than the painted shirt. You know, like,
well, I mean, that's when you get into shit with jeans is like how things are worn. Where, for example, it's literally just someone cutting, and they're not, they're not pulling out the threads like 10 minutes to do it, or they'll
understanding that like the reason when like jeans have blown out knees and or these holes here and stuff is because that's what actually happens like when you naturally wear them. Like I've got a couple pairs of jeans that the knees are just naturally blown out. Like that's just what happens when I'm tall and like I'm fucking bending over and I got these big old fucking gams.
Yeah,
and like,
you used to have that skating bailing.
Yeah.
And then you would just rip the knees or the crotch would blow out or your back pockets, you wear holes in them, right? Just falling and shit.
Yeah, dude.
Or from carrying your board, it would just wear away on the sides. But it shows like when you know how something looks naturally distressed and when something looks just mass produced. Because like you'll get like companies they'll like when they do it right is they'll like tumble dry jeans like their jeans with like rocks or in like pumice stones or something. They like
shit. You know, for sure.
Or they literally drag jeans like through fucking.
Because the funny thing is like the reason when it's done properly is because like we all have those pairs of jeans that are worn in with naturally blown out things and all this stuff good. That they look good, but they're so comfortable too. Because your bodies your bodies work them in these certain areas. So when a jean does that properly, you're like, okay, these are like already comfy as fuck, like out the gate.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's nothing worse than a fresh pair of jeans and you're fucking doing the Kramer walk, you know, like when when Kramer was like, I can still wear jeans.
Especially if you're into like the people out there that are into raw denim, like Japanese denim or whatever, and you get the shit's like just cardboard
fucking denim,
just crispy.
The shit that we used to get when we were kids.
You can't even like put your hand in your pocket. It's like just
the shit where if it's cold outside and it's like not a tighter fit, like the inside of the pant gets so cold and it like hits your leg and you're like it's like fuck it, like burns. So cold, right? And then it like denim burns.
Yeah, like Naked and Famous, for example. You're familiar with that company?
I know the name.
This guy Brandon Sfark from Montreal started this it's a huge brand now, but they started off making denim, and his whole thing was about raw denim, right?
Right.
Like seeing when people wear a pair of jeans for a year, 2 years, then you wash it and then it gets fucking crazy distressed. You get sick, like honeycomb patterning, or like, you know, holes worn in, whatever. But he would do these kind of gimmicky jeans where he did like ones that were glow in the dark, or they'd be woven with Kevlar, or he would do different ounce like weight to them. So like kind of average denim is like 12 or 14 ounce like weight to them, and then he would do ones that are like in the 20s and they're like thick, right? And then there was one where it was the gimmick was you open it up and you just like boom, and then you kind of prop it and it stands up on its own. It's so thick.
Right.
Like it's fucking crazy.
That's like that's fucking cowboy denim. That's what that shit is.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's designed to be riding on a horse and fall off.
Some of them called them like elephant denim. They were like, dude, so thick that like But I mean, if you wore that every day for 2 years, that shit would be so sick.
Well, that's my favorite cues in fashion, though. Have always been stuff that actually has function. You know what I mean? Like
function over fashion.
Even like I wear them all the time, like the moto style fucking jeans where they have the extra fucking lines sewn in layers with extra patches of fucking like reinforced areas that are like,
or you get them where they're cut different around where the back of your knee
because it lets you
exactly
shit, right? Which is designed for riding motorcycles and things of that nature. And then even like I kind of bring up the cowboy era of denim, because it's like that shit was designed to keep you protected from not only the elements,
if you fucking bail off your horse,
foot still on the
you're
stirrup,
not gonna get road rash.
You're fucking just hanging behind your horse and you're like, good thing I got my denim on.
Totally,
like,
right?
For real. Let's just save your ass. So fucking it's I don't know, it's always and even just like one of my favorite fucking avenues in fucking it's stuff that I can't afford yet because it's so expensive, but it's tech wear, like like the Y3 stuff from like Yoji Yamamoto and like all these other like brands, kind of like that's my main one. But like White Mountaineering is another
Mountaineering
big, and like stuff, but the shit's so expensive because it's built quality and it's actually has purpose and function.
And a lot of them are just like
shit, right?
in like the cuts of things. They put a lot of thought into that. It's not just that generic like
for
size
sure.
Large, North American size large, the boxy. It's like,
so when you start seeing the like,
it's tight here, it's loose here, like because you're supposed to move around, like
you're supposed to be able to use.
And like Patagonia is another underrated brand. I think
I haven't seen too much of their stuff, but I remember
you're familiar with them, right?
Yeah, they started
as like kind of like rock climbing, like outerwear and kind of stuff. But now they have like a more like lines and stuff, and their stuff is more the function over fashion. Like it's not like crazy looking shit, but it's like it's well thought out. And like even on their site you can see what I like about their website is lots of their items. It's not just like oh this is a cool looking jacket, let me click on it, then it's like the 8 photos of different angles, like the front, the back, the side, a close-up of this or whatever. It'll have the write-up, but then you'll scroll down, there'll be a video, and it's like that item will be on a mannequin, and then the guy's like, oh, check out this there's a backside pocket because this is meant to be worn in this type of activity, and when you're doing it, boom, you can store something so it's out of the way at the front, or like when you zip something up, it'll overlay a certain way so it covers the zipper so you don't get your fucking beard or your chin caught in the zipper or like,
which I've had,
it's like really minor things that they'll add and do that you wouldn't even notice, but I'm like, oh, that's so sick to have this video.
Well, when it gets to a point when it's no longer like let's just put out a product to like sell a bunch of them, let's put some thought into a product that people might actually need. You know what I mean? And if it can look good at the same time, like fuck yeah.
But I'd rather that second, like the function, like
absolutely,
especially if you need shit for certain tasks, or climates, right? You're like, fuck, do I care about like the look? Like I want something just gonna keep me fucking warm. Like,
well, dude, just even fucking on a like a basic level of something like a fucking backpack. I fucking recently, or it was a year ago, I got the White Mountaineering Adidas backpack like 50% off, and it was still fucking like $100, and it was knocked down from what was once a $250 backpack. I'm like, that's a fucking lot of money for a backpack, bro. But like,
just like a day pack.
Well, like I needed a backpack for being able to haul like everything. Like when I go somewhere, I need to be able to bring like my camera bag, my laptop, and it's got all these compartments, so many compartments on it that like it's been a fucking godsend, man. Like when I went to the island, like I had both my cameras, a tripod, a monopod, my gorilla pod, my microphones.
So is it a camera bag then?
It's just a backpack that has so many compartments laid out really well. That was just like, you kind of understand that like why a backpack would be expensive.
Oh, dude,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, I mean, you get it, but then you're kind of like, you really get it when you get something and you're like, oh, I have so much weight in here, and like I'm not worried about this.
Yeah, and then you'll like try on an expensive bag, and you're like, whoa, this just like sits really nice because these straps are positioned
just basic shit,
like in a certain way, and they're padded like
Yeah, I was so hyped on that, and like I still am every time I fucking load that thing up. I'm like, this was a good call,
dude. Like, speaking of fucking backpacks, I went to I went downtown to go to Cuddy that day. Yeah. My friend and I were just downtown wasting time, so we were just like looking through stores and shit. And we went to Holt Renfrew. Have you ever been there?
Yep.
We went to the Louis store.
Right.
He wants a Louis backpack.
Oh shit!
I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they're actually like.
Are they the ones that are like just like the drawstring type at the top with the flap? Or no flap?
There's a few.
Yeah.
Okay. There is one like that. Yeah, like it's like $4,500, I think.
Jeez.
But you're like, oh, it's just the fucking brand, you think? But I was like looking at it, and I was like, yo,
crazy belt. Yeah,
and the strap positioning was just something I really noticed on that. And I was like, oh, I tried on it, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. I was like, this thing could be really heavy, and it would be really comfortable still.
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
that quality of that leather,
you're
like, holy fuck. And then the inside's like suede lined, and you're like, it really is pretty luxurious.
Well, dude, they're like, it's Louis Vuitton. Like they built that name off of being a top quality brand,
elite,
you know. But yeah, it's the crazy shit, man. When like you start to actually understand that, you're like, oh, okay, like $100 sweatshirt, like that's like actually cheap.
The quality of something,
that's cheap in the range of even like high quality stuff. But just even that jump to $100 sweatshirt from a $50 sweatshirt is like,
oh, dude. And if you go from like $50 to like a $300, just like a blank, like good quality one, you're like,
what is this? Yeah,
that's your hoodie for the next 6 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you start getting spoiled with quality and shit. Like, but
quality over quantity, people.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
God.
That's for damn sure. That's like even like with obviously fucking, well, for anybody that doesn't know from listening to this, like I collect a lot of shoes. Or a lot of Adidas, I should say, but I've been selective with the stuff that I do. I'm not just doing it to just do a massive amount of stuff. I'm doing it because I'll appreciate, like, you know, like with whether it's
out of 6 or 7 that come out, there's one that you're like,
yeah, and I'll only cop if I'm like so hyped, like I need to check this out, like I want to have the fucking. But it's the same thing, man. You can't just be the guy that's doing it for the collection, like for the like or I mean, you know what, whatever, if that's what you're into, fucking do it up. But
yeah,
I mean, fucking with anything, man, gotta get that quality. It's much more worth it. Spend your time.
Immensely. Your future self will thank you.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, man.
Right?
I did the one all the time back in the day where like I just like spend the cheaper amount on whatever it was, but then in the long run,
you're like, well, fuck, I could get 3 of these hoodies for the price of this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and a year later, you don't have any of those hoodies anymore.
It's like, oh,
right.
How much you do that? Oh, that was a bad idea. Now she's gonna play with that. Cats are going crazy. Yeah, that was a bad idea.
Dude, I was gonna say, I was on Twitch the other day. You ever go on Twitch, like, just to see what's up?
I haven't in a little while, but yeah, definitely.
It's
an interesting place, man.
When was this? A couple days ago. I was just like super bored, just like watching shit, and I was like, you know, you're just watching shit to watch it. You're not even really watching it, even it's just on, and you're just like
background movement.
You're even just like, you catch yourself just looking out the window. you're like not really into this right now. For whatever reason, like I thought of like Twitch, and I was like, yo, I remember seeing that there's like the in real life stuff.
Yeah.
You ever look at that?
Oh, dude, it's so crazy.
Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna see what's going on, right? When it's like the in real life live stuff.
So interesting.
And like scrolling to the bottom, the further you go down, it's like the less viewers, you know?
Right,
you get stuff
right.
Where it's like you get 10,000 people are watching this right now, and you keep going down, and it's like 200 people, then 70, and then 10, and then 1 or and 0.
Like where we are,
right? And it's funny.
Not really kidding.
Watching. I always go to the bottom just to see, because these are the people I find that are more hungry and are trying.
Yeah, they got
I mean?
something to actually work for. They can't just know they can turn on their thing.
And like one of them was like, and you can tune in live chat
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, right? So one of them was like this girl from like Winnipeg was like making like pasta in her kitchen. You know what I mean? And I was like, it's just so crazy how you can. I was like, I just randomly chose it and clicked on it, and then after 10 seconds or something, you kind of clue into what's going on, and then you're like, oh, and then you're like, this person's just doing this right now in Winnipeg. You know what I mean? In her kitchen. Yeah. And I was like, fuck.
The fucking instant world of streaming, man.
And it's just like, okay, close that. What's the next thing? Like, what's this person doing at the exact same moment right now? And then it was like, I just clicked on a few, and one was like, you know, obviously you get tons of people playing video games. You get like the dude in fucking Kansas playing
right
fucking World of Warcraft or something, and then you get like this person cooking. But you start to see the diversity in like what people are doing with it. Even I saw like some girl in France was drawing, like, what was she drawing? Like these abstracty kind of like shapes and plants and stuff. Right. And I was like, okay, so there's this person in France drawing. I got this girl in Winnipeg is making pasta for her mom, you know? And then you get like this dude in the States is playing video games. And then I just like kept going down. And I went to like the 2s and 3s. And I was like, what's going on? And then I saw this lady who was painting. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? So sick. So I tuned in, and it's like most of them will have like their like description of their page, right? Like where they're from and whatever. And this girl was from, or this lady rather, was in, I think it was Seattle,
right?
And she was like just starting an oil painting of like her friend's dog, and she's like she's in her living room, and you could see her husband like making like shit in the background in the kitchen, you know? And I was like, damn, that's fucking dope.
It's so fucking, it's bizarre, but like awesome. You know what I mean?
And she was talking as if there was like an audience, even though there was just like two or three people, you know? And I was like, you know, I'm one of them, you know? And then but she's just like, just talking totally normal like this, like, oh yeah, I chose this photo she's talking about like how she like approaches doing stuff, and I was like, yo, this is actually so interesting. And I got sucked in. I ended up watching her paint for like easily a half hour, and then I was just talking to her, and then she was just answering me back because I was the only one watching. I was like, yo, this is dope.
Well, that's the rad thing about it, is the fact that it is becoming so much more acceptable with streaming and things of that nature, that like people are understanding that you can be comfortable, like, and not like have to be like, wow, here I am putting on a show
on today. You know what I mean?
You can actually just be yourself, and like whether your audience is that 3 people or that 3,000 or more, like there's still people that you're going to be entertaining.
It's just, it's just cool seeing people do them in their element, so to say.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely, dude.
Because you're just literally they're just like people in their houses. And you're like, oh, this chick's painting in her living room. That's like an open floor plan next to her kitchen, and this person's cooking in their kitchen. This person's in their living room playing video games. Like,
for like fucking.
And you get all around the world, and like at the same time, you can see like how people's like houses or things are set up. How people naturally are. It's interesting.
Well, it's just even been like,
it's like the ultimate, you know, when you're like in an apartment building and you look across at another one, you're like, yo, I can see this guy watching TV, or this guy's cooking. I could go on a Twitch and go into the house. You know what I mean? It's like the next level of that.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And it's cool to see. I like the part that you dabbled on, is like always my favorite, with when you kind of get a little bit of insight into like the creative's home, because a lot of the time they're like using their house, apartment, or whatever it is, and like utilizing every little bit of the space not for what it should regularly be used for. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm gonna convert this area into a fucking art studio. I'm gonna turn this portion into a prime example, we're in my apartment right now, and this studio is like, you know, not a studio. You know what I mean? But
if you only knew what was on the other side, right
exactly. If you're watching,
his lawnmower,
exactly, dude. My shed's over there. But I mean, that's the same thing. Like, it's like now there's a little bit further insight into that kind of stuff on my vlog, that people who have like watched my vlog, but then if they come to this world of the podcast,
they're like, "Where in your room? That's not in your room."
And they're like, "Wait a minute, what the fuck?" And then, but yeah, it's that same shit where it's just like it's it's different views into the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
whereas I find that like that's what I like about streaming, or like anything live like this, is that it's like you can't bullshit your way through it. You can't edit your way out of stuff. You can't, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, yeah, here's who we are, or here's what I'm doing
with what I got.
Yeah, what up? You know,
What up?
what? Hey, you know, it's cool, man. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Because I think people ultimately will always respond to that real nature of human beings more than the fake bullshit, authentic. Than the bullshit TV. Hey, come on down. You know,
so gross.
Because like who
fake.
talks like that ever?
Right?
In person.
And I'm always like news anchors and stuff. I'm like, I just imagine their life when they get off work.
Yeah.
Like, they probably get home and they're like, oh, they loosen their tie and they're just like, well, just don't talk to me. I just don't want to. All they do is talk all day. And they're all fucking jolly. Imagine you just get home, you just be so mentally exhausted that you're just like, right?
Fucking, or they just do enough coke that they want to just keep fucking talking. That's why they're news reporters.
Fucking speaking of that, I was listening to a Fighter and the Kid podcast.
Yeah.
And
I've been listening to a lot of that again lately.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, they're fucking hilarious.
Their camaraderie is so good.
Yeah,
like just fucking.
I love how they'll like start joking about something and then they feed off it and they go back and forth.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that shit's hilarious. But they were talking about there's like he saw a clip of these kids were filming their teacher like doing lines in the classroom.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see the clip, but I guess like this elementary school teacher.
Yeah, she was cutting up lines in her fucking classroom.
Elementary or high school?
Yeah, it was elementary.
Yeah, and she's cutting up coke lines in the classroom, like I guess with the door closed, thinking that no one can see her.
Yeah.
And she's just doing lines and shit, just kind of out in the open, thinking no one's watching her. And there's kids through the window, like filming her phones. Do this shit. And then
everybody's got a fucking nice quality camera now.
I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? That's so crazy. And Brennan was like, had such a good point. He's like, yo, why would you just post that? He's like, why wouldn't you be like, so I'm not gonna show up for class the rest of the year, and you're gonna give me an A, or this shit's fucking going on my Instagram feed,
exactly,
right? Like.
And then they fucking searched her car and they found all this like glass pipes and other paraphernalia and like fucking meth shit.
And then and then she's like saying how normally I wait till like after work to pick up from my dealer and shit, but she's like, I felt really shitty that day. I just needed it, like. And you're like, dude, that's straight up addiction.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're like
crazy,
where you overlook where you are.
Yeah. You're like, no. What?
Or before, maybe you're like, oh, I'll do it in my car.
Yeah.
Like after school. She was like, she had that fucking one. She's like, I fucking need it. I'm like in class, like during recess. Or something.
When it basically she gets so far removed from where she is that she just goes, oh, well, I know there's a break coming up.
Yeah,
so you come meet me in the break and then I can just do it here because nobody's going to be here because it's a break. So, okay. Yeah. Logical. That's logical.
Right? Yeah. So crazy.
So crazy, dude. Yeah. Like I started thinking back to like the teachers that I had and shit. I'm like, man, like I know.
But for us, it was more like teachers were just alcoholics.
Yeah. I had one teacher that was fucking used to do a lot of coke and would always tell us about it.
Oh yeah.
Fucking you went through Burnsview. Obviously.
Yeah.
You remember Mr. Bruin? Fucking wood teacher?
Oh fuck.
Yeah, dude. And I understand that guy so much more now that like after I've like grown up.
That guy was a fucking goof.
I loved him. I fucking loved him.
He was such an asshole.
Exactly, but this is why I understand it more. Let me go down the story of this guy. So in our fucking our high school, we had our wood teacher, fucking Mr. Bruin, and he was fucking like you said, everybody knew him as an asshole because like he would literally make students cry and shit all the time.
Oh, the shit like where he would if you did something wrong, he would like pick up your project or something. I'd whip
it across the fucking room.
Whip it across, yeah. Like a fuck you glass, shatter against the wall. Like,
well, it would always be fucking,
and he'd be yelling at the top of his lungs. This dude's like 40, and you're like,
and fucking he had like the classic dad stash, and like he always had the pasties at the side of his mouth and shit. He'd always send students off to get him a fucking can of Coke, and like he would fucking sometimes buy him one, and then like
so fucking psycho.
But he would joke around with everybody a lot. lot. Like that was the other part. Like I was laughing the whole fucking time during all of the shit, even if he was like mad at me because like I just kind of like I got it. I don't know. And then like I
had fucking issues, dude.
So anyways, he was telling stories about being all fucked up on coke and like, or like that coke, how it would actually fuck you up, and like that, like basically
is this like
the bridge of his nostril was gone
in front of class, or when you'd have like the two kind of students he clicked with?
There'd be some shit that would get brought up just in front of class, to the point where like we'd be sitting there and like fucking there would be like the announcements would come on, and I remember one time he fucking was just like he was trying to tell
he'd
us,
always mock them too. I remember.
Yeah, well, dude, he went through
racist,
many fucking if I thought back probably but he went through many PA speakers because we were just like sitting there and he just like fucking randomly get up and he just like started stabbing the PA speaker because it interrupted his story.
Oh, fuck. I think I saw him do that one time. Now that you say that,
yeah, that was a regular move of his.
Yeah.
So anyways, like crazy fucking son of a bitch.
Damn.
So the reason I said I started to understand it a lot more as I get older is because like I run a wood shop. Like that's what I do for a living. I make things out of wood. I work with tools. So
naturally you're just throwing stuff across the room.
No. Well, yes, that is actually part of it. But no, I've just okay. So I've understood the safety precautions so much more, and then now all of a sudden thinking about it through my head, where now you're putting. Okay, think about how how smart the average kid through junior high is, and how much they use their brain.
Yeah,
and like not at all. They're fucking idiots. Let alone when they get into an elective course. It's not even a real class at that point.
Oh, dude.
So it's just fuck off. It's just fucking be an asshole. Do whatever you want. Play with your tech the whole class. Like fucking
throw paper.
Spitballs. Not pay attention. Spitballs. The whole shit, right? So now all of a sudden you're involving shit that like that can cut your hand off. Can fucking...
I remember when I started doing that course, the woodwork course.
Yeah.
And he was like, he would do like a brief like description of how to use something. He'd be like, "Oh, all right, guys, come over here to the fucking drill press, right?"
Yeah, and he make you literally just drill some holes in a random piece of wood.
Did he ever do that thing talking about like if you got clothing caught in it?
Yes.
I still remember to this day, like visually, this thing where he was like, "If you have long hair, tie your hair up."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Want to know why?" He flicked it on, and he had a fucking oily rag, and he just threw the rag at the spinning drill press, and it just stuck to it and just stayed. And he was like, "You're gonna get fucking like fed into it." Yeah. You know what I mean? Just the way,
the point where it rips the fucking shit out of your skull.
Just the way he's just like, turn, it's all old. It's like just like really loud and shaking, and just whipped it at it, and it just stuck to it and just went around. And I was like, it just like painted such a horrific photo in my head. I was like,
so that's exactly
shit.
The point that I'm getting to. That I'm like, so now
I still remember that.
You've obviously, like, I remember you'd hear some horror stories about like back in fucking
I have one,
94, kid cut off the tip of his finger or something like that, or blah blah blah, or all this shit. So then you now have this fear in the back of your head that if any form of injury happens, this is all gone. This entire course. This entire stuff, if a kid cuts off his fucking hand, nobody's learning this anymore.
Yeah.
This is done. I'm probably getting fucking schools getting sued. It's done. Like no more woodworking for the rest of the fucking generations. The amount of fucking precautions that gets put into that, like
back then,
I start freaking out when I'm thinking about it in my wood shop, going, man, I have to teach. If I had to teach fucking 13-year-old kids how to fucking use this shit.
Like bandsaw or something, you're like
table saw,
right? I remember I was in that class. We were making.
I get it.
What were we making? We're making some type of box.
Yep. Yeah. That was the second year woodworking or whatever.
Yeah, the basic one where you do like the
you do the finger joints.
Yeah. I remember using the planer. I think it was the planer. And then next to it was the table saw.
Right.
And this girl was using the table saw, and I was using the planer, so I'm just like waiting for it to finish to come out. And I just hear, like that sound, and so you immediately look over, and I guess she was using it, and she went like against the grain, it caught a knot, and it just went, boom, and it just shot it back into her gut. And so I heard the noise, I looked over, and she was just holding her stomach, and the wood was on the ground, and everyone looked over, and dude, she was just bawling, but she couldn't breathe because it knocked the wind out of her. So she's
which is even scarier.
And I was like, but she was covering it, and I was like,
oh no.
I was like, oh my god, what happened, right? Because she was like, all
is she holding her guts in?
Yeah. I was like, holy fuck! And then I realized after that, it caught the knot and shot it back at her and knocked the wind out of her.
I'd seen that one happen.
So hurt.
I had scary stuff like that kind of happen myself.
It's like a little girl too, dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like not prepared to take a hit like that. To the same story involving the box and the table saw. Fucking my buddy in his class. He was never a competent woodworker, just didn't pay attention to that's the thing. People just don't pay attention, right? Yeah.
So he was going to cut cut the lid off the box after the whole box is glued together as a complete box that you then put it on its side, cut the top off, right? So he's cutting the top off and he was not doing it properly and like jiggled the thing or something. It caught and went past his head.
Oh my god.
Across the entire wood shop. Do you know where there's the wood storage in the back?
Yeah.
It went and hit the wall back there.
It's like 20 feet.
Yeah. So Bruin fucking like lost
and rather than him being like, oh my god, are you okay, and checking on shit, he just comes over and just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Because he wanted to instill that fear that this is not shit to fuck around with. That could have been you fucking dead.
That hit you in the face?
Oh my god. Broken face.
Yeah,
like you're just now teeth, concave face.
Just chiclets.
You just have a satellite dish for a face, you know.
Just be a predator.
You look like the Demigorgon because your face is just fuck, dude. So that's exactly it. Like I just kind of like thought about it in my wood shop one day and went, like, you know those scenes in a movie where there's like just like the transparent like scenes flashing back every single time of him freaking out on a student, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I get it.
Shit's scary, man.
Yeah, because could you even imagine?
Because you never know, right? You're
just on edge the whole time because you see these idiots come into your classroom, which most of them were.
But he was like, he wouldn't even shadow people. He'd just be like, all right, that's how you use it. I'm gonna probably go do drugs in fucking my office. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna just turn my back for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But
I fucking loved that guy.
Fuck that guy. I didn't like that guy. He liked for sure. He liked you. He liked my brother.
Yeah.
But
well, there's certain people that he
him.
liked, obviously, and then there's just even like I was just one of those people where like I loved.
I feel like he respected the dudes that didn't give a fuck in school.
Yeah.
Totally.
But it was like the people that
because the people that didn't give a fuck would just give him lip back. They would show up late.
Right.
They would be like smoke pit kids or
yeah.
Because those kids just wouldn't give a fuck. So when he would rage at them, they would rage back. And I feel like he respected that.
Right.
And I would I would always see him like shooting the shit with those kids.
Yeah, there's always some of that.
You know?
Well, I think it was just the fact, even in simple fact though, that the shooting the shit portion of that was like the kids like, oh, I can relate to this guy. You know what I mean? Unlike any of my other teachers, this guy's fucking like looks like he's probably high.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, like not afraid to just say some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
where
yeah.
Every other fucking teacher would just fucking
and like I said, he was fucking racist. I remember him saying some crazy racist shit. Yeah, probably, dude. He was so racist against brown people. Oh my god.
I don't fucking remember anything off the top of my head, but probably. Like, I could see that.
He would say some shit when you're like...
And you're just like, oh, guy.
You're like, bro, I know we're both white, but just because I'm white doesn't mean I'm on team racist.
Yeah,
you know what
I
mean?
I
like,
fucking hate that kind of shit. Man. That one's the
when
grossest
you're like,
shit.
He says some shit, like, and he's almost like looking at you to be like, am I right, fellow white man? You know? Yeah. And I'm like,
am I right here? Buy me a Coke. And
you're like, I'm like, nah, dude, I'm not gonna. That's not
yeah.
cool. What you just said, like, that's fucked. But have you ever witnessed like people getting seriously injured with like equipment?
Yes. Yeah. The first thing that comes to my head was this one time on a job site that I worked construction for a bunch of different avenues of construction for a while, and there's this guy was the fucking foreman, and
the foreman got hurt.
Well, let me elaborate here. He wasn't a smart guy. Worked his way up to foreman, and we were just talking about Coke stories.
Okay.
This guy fucking loved Coke.
Yeah.
And he would basically show up to work for like 3 to 4 weeks, get his paycheck, disappear on 6-day benders, where he'd spend his entire paycheck on coke and strippers. And then he would come back to work.
Hookers and blow.
Yeah, literally hookers and blow. And then he would come back to work after like 6 days because he was out of money, and he's the foreman. So he would just like somehow have the seniority to be able to fuck off and like not get fired.
Just show up, yeah.
Yeah, so then he'd show up again to make enough money to go on another bender. And fucking, so there's always like really like cocky guys in construction that just kind of like,
oh yeah,
I don't need safety.
Dumb gloves or eyewear or something.
Yeah. So fucking like, oh, I gotta cut this 2x4. I just need to cut off the 6-inch bit. I'll just do it real quick on the side of my leg while I'm standing up.
This is what he did?
Yes.
Okay.
Foreman.
Now what?
Yeah, foreman.
Yeah, foreman.
No safety glasses, no hearing protection, no put it down on the table, no
clamp it.
Let me do it on the side of my leg.
So he's bracing it on his leg.
So he's legit like standing up. And he just puts it here and just goes like, and yeah. So as he's going,
oh god,
it goes.
Oh.
Stops. The blade stops in his muscle and tendon, and he's like a
oh,
and it's like
holy shit.
And so he's just like and then just like,
is he
pulls it out, and then he's just hops away and like he didn't do anything wrong, and then fucking,
oh my god, what? That's fucking terrifying.
And then he disappears from work for another couple weeks. He ends up coming back with the shit just all wrapped up, and it's just like,
I expect to be all Tarantino and shit, just like psst,
you'd think, right? But apparently it was because it was so meaty, it was enough to just stop the saw.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I was right beside him when that happened. I was like,
oh god.
Jesus. But under the same guise, I was almost just like,
yikes.
I almost wasn't shocked by it, like, because I'm like,
is that real?
Well, no, because I had been watching this guy for months, however long I've been working at it, being like, this guy's an idiot. This guy's clearly a cokehead fucking idiot. And then like I see him doing this, and he cuts a couple pieces, and I'm like,
and you're like, bro,
I'm like, no. Yeah, like
man, I can just hear the sound, just the I know, like,
hear that,
yeah,
electrical
like,
motor just trying to turn, but there's
does
just
not compute. Fuck.
Yeah, so that was the first one that came to my brain, like just,
oh god. There's at my work, there's these like conveyor belts, right?
Yeah.
Like classic belt rollers, right?
Right.
They have like 2 levels. The top one are the belt rollers. Underneath,
level to this shit.
Underneath is like the belt.
Yeah.
Right, where it's like the solid.
Right.
So, I guess there was work being done to the rollers in the belt, and the guy was on the belt part where the belt's on the ground, and it's maybe 3.5-4 feet gap. So he's on his knees on the belt, working on the rollers, right? But the rollers are on, and he's working on them. So he's underneath, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wet rag into the drill press or what?
Yeah. Let me turn this on and show you what happens when shit gets fucking caught and fed in. So I guess home skillet's fucking working on it, and like fed in. Fucking sleeve gets fed in, arm gets fed up in it and around, and it doesn't stop.
I just like picturing a Dr. Seuss cartoon at this point.
Yeah, basically his arm got fed through. Long story short, dude walks out, his arm is hanging off by the tendon at his elbow and just like bleeding out, midday.
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah. Imagine that fucking shit. And that happened.
So did you actually see all that?
No, it was.
Oh, okay.
It was a couple weeks before I started. Yeah, but that happened there. So fucked.
That shit's so fucked.
And
man.
yeah, just like hearing about other horror stories about like shit with the planes and stuff.
Right. Well, you just told me that one the other fucking day.
Yeah. Did we talk about it on this or?
No,
was
we
it?
didn't. That was
yeah.
after the fact.
The guy with his belt loop, right? Getting caught. Did I tell you that one?
Is that the one that ended up with the guy fucking?
No.
No.
Yeah. No, this was yeah, when you're working around planes, you have to be super careful.
Let's just preface that with any large machinery, and planes are the largest of machinery.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm talking huge planes.
Yeah.
Where you could stand inside the engine. It's so big, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like in the whole family.
But yeah, being told about this one guy that walked past the engine, being an idiot, engine suck shit in from the front, shoot it out the back, right?
We've all seen Jackass 2, I believe it was, when they went behind the jet engine. Remember?
Oh, and they throw like the football and like the fruit and shit. Yeah, so from the front side, dude's too close, gets sucked in, and his fucking belt loop gets caught on a piece just before the fucking, the turbine, and it just, boom, it saves him. Gets sucked in, caught. And so he's like caught while it's sucking him in, but he got saved.
Jesus. Fuck.
And then just like I was looking shit up on YouTube after.
Yeah, your brain just kind of goes,
And I remember actually seeing this clip on, remember that show, fucking Real TV?
Yes, of course.
Right, on Spike TV.
Many after
where
school
basically it was like
one.
fail comps before YouTube was a
thing.
Yeah. And seeing this guy, he was working on a military...
Talking about TV announcers, though, by the way. Those announcers were always, look at this guy.
Yeah. And the voiceovers and shit.
Yeah.
But this one was this guy who was working on like one of those naval base ships.
Right.
Where they land the crazy jets on them.
Aircraft carriers.
So this guy was like marshaling one of those jets.
Mm-hmm.
And it had landed... it was either landing and shutting down.
Right.
So it was still spinning. Or it was just starting up. Either way, he walked by at the wrong time. He literally got sucked into the engine. Like entire, like ragdoll. They show it in slow motion, and he like, his body form changes. He got sucked in so fast that he was like wavy when he went into it. It sucked him into the engine. Like... And then the engine blew up. Yeah, because he got sucked in like this, so head first, like so back and then head in, and his head got sucked in. That his helmet jammed the fucking engine, and that's what blew it up because it jammed it, and that's what saved him. Like he obviously got fucking mangled. Oh yeah, for sure. But his helmet saved him from dying. That's because crazy. It went in and just did that same thing, and it jammed it, and it fucking blew out the back. And they pulled him out. Yeah. Dude. I think I actually remember seeing that one, to be honest. It's like nighttime vision. Yeah. It's like really shitty quality. But you can still see like... Planes all the time will have engine malfunctions while they're flying when just like a flock of geese or something. Whoops, we just sucked up 3, engine 4's down. Like Jesus Christ. I'm so scared. Yeah, dude. I'm that person though, when I fly, like I'm sweating the whole time. Really? I can't, dude. I love flying. I'm so anxious with that. I love flying, and then terrifying. I'm also the person where like, this is funny. This freaks most people out when I say this, but I literally think about while we're flying and shit. Like I'll think through like worst case scenario. Yeah, me too. Of like plane going down. And I got mad anxiety with that shit. I can't. So I almost have to like think through it to like conquer it. You know what I mean? To be comfortable with it. To be like, if this happens, I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm fucked. It's all good. But then I can like literally think statistically like, yo, it's safer than driving. And like driving makes me anxious sometimes. Yeah, but the only reason why I don't really back that statistic is just because there aren't as many airplanes in the sky as there are cars on the road. If there were, yeah, but it's not even based off of that though. Too, it's like just like even. I'm driving a car. I'm not 30,000 feet up. Yeah. Like,
oh, for sure.
Shit goes wrong when I'm driving. I'll just signal on. I'm gonna pull over, do a nice slow steady stop.
Or
you know
so
what
you
I mean?
think.
And I'll walk away.
Or so you think.
Shit goes wrong when you're on a plane.
Hey man, you might have to end up in like a Lost type scenario, you know? Fucking
Fuck that show, dude. Fuck that show.
I loved that show.
Oh
It's
my
so
God.
bizarre.
Fuck that show, and they're like 24 episodes a season.
Right.
Fucking, oh my God. I remember I got sucked into that show when it was on late, man.
Right.
It was on Netflix. And like, there's 7, 8 seasons or something.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. I remember getting to like maybe near the end of 5th or 6th season. Like, I was invested.
Yo, yeah, 100%.
20 something episodes per season, right? I was watching the summertime when my aunt was visiting, and she like watches it annually.
Right.
She just really likes that show. And so she would walk in when I'm watching episode and be like, oh, this part kind of thing, and just walk by, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember getting to this one point when I was like, they were kind of insinuating at certain shit, and I was like, yo, I have a feeling this is what's going on.
Right.
And then I was just kind of talking out loud, and she's like, do you want me to tell you? Right? And I was like, no, fuck it. And I was like, wait. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to tell you what I think is going on. Just tell me yes or no. Right. Don't tell me like where I'm wrong or whatever, right? And I was like, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for Lost. I was like, okay.
It's a little late on that one.
Well, I just thought I'd fucking
heads up. No. I'm just saying that if you haven't watched it yet, it's your own damn fault.
Yeah. But I was like, okay. I was like, is everyone dead? Are they just in some weird fucking limbo? That's why
shit.
That's why nothing makes sense.
Right.
And she's like, yep. And I was like, off. I was like, fuck this show. I was like, I can't believe. I was like, some fucking bullshit.
See, I
hate it. It's such a cop out, I think.
Yes
that
and
shit,
no. Like I don't know.
Man.
That one basically, I ended up.
Give me something original, not like, oh, it's a dream, or it's like everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Like you know, like it's like.
I think with that show,
off.
like I had many fuck off moments with that show. Don't get me wrong, but I also was able. I ended up being able to remove myself from it enough to just be like, yo, this is just an entertaining show.
And then I remember finding out that it was only supposed to be like 2 seasons or something. It's only supposed to be
like 4 seasons. Or
and then eventually they ran out of shit, and they were literally making it up as they went along. Those
were the fuck off moments for me. But yeah, like I say, I was able to just remove myself enough from it to just be like, yo, wait a minute. Like, I was really entertained by the show. Why can't I just watch this as an entertaining show? You know what I mean? Like, because
it turned into bullshit. That's why.
But it was still better than most of the bullshit that was on the fucking TV at the time. That was, I don't know. That's just at least the way I am. I fucking always try to find something to enjoy out of shit, right? Where I'm like, yo, I was enjoying this. I'm gonna finish it through, and then fucking
you stuck with it, eh?
Oh yeah, definitely. And
big ups.
And there was like, well, because the biggest part too is like I'm such a fan of cinematography. Yeah. And like just even the production of shit. So like there was so much of that. Like that the production value on that show was so high that like that's what I end up watching a lot of that shit for. Is like I'm not like it's even like kind of like the funny thing with like fucking with music, it's never been about lyrics for me. Just like because like
production.
Yeah, it's always just production, the vibes, the whole back end of stuff. And it's just like I don't know, I'm always just so intrigued in that kind of stuff. So if I can find something that I enjoy for that, I just kept watching it because I was like, yo, fucking I'm so down with like the vibe and everything of this. I want to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
And also there was a part of me that was like, I'm so invested in it. I just got to fucking finish it. You know, that was the other part. I was just like, fuck it. I got to finish it. So,
yeah. That was me with Dexter. Did you ever watch Dexter?
I watched a few episodes and it just didn't do anything for me. I just wasn't interested.
That was like the first show I ever watched that I was like, yo, I watched the first episode and I was like, what's the next? And I just fucking didn't stop.
That was one of those ones that everybody went crazy for, and I was like, I was
late on it too, though.
And I was like, I don't get it.
And
I don't know. I just don't have. I've never had those like.
That was like the only one that I really got sucked into, where I watched like the 5 seasons, and then I was like, oh, the 6th season starts on TV in a month, kind of thing, and then I caught up, and then I would watch it as it came out, and then the last season everyone like hates on
Right.
There was a couple bullshit moments, but that was one where I was like, just because I invested so much, and I really liked most of that show, like 90% of that show, that I just continued to watch it because I'm like, I'm not gonna not watch the finale.
Right. Yeah. No, that's that's kind of like that same feeling I was.
And they left it super like fucking open in the end. Like, it's funny, but that guy that plays Dexter, Michael C. Hall. Did you ever watch 6 Feet Under, that TV show?
No, I never watched that one either.
Fuck, that show is so good. It's an older show.
Yeah, that one was back.
But that show has the best ending to anything I've ever seen. Movie, TV show, anything. It has the best ending. Because, are you ever gonna watch it? Should I tell you, or should I just leave it at that? Do you want to know what it is or no?
You know what? I probably wouldn't even have a frame of reference for it. So like, I don't know. Maybe just that it is the best ending.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't even like have anything to like.
You don't have to watch the show to know to understand the ending. The ending is just how they wrapped it up.
Right.
Which is like the best way.
Oh yeah.
I'll leave it.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
You want me to leave it at that? Or you want me to
tell me.
Okay. So the show 6 Feet Under, basically it follows this one family, right? So you got mom, dad, 2 brothers, and a daughter. Okay. The dad, they own a funeral home.
Okay,
and then they live upstairs.
The
main level is like where they do like the funerals, and then below is where they do the like mortuary.
Right.
The dad like.
That's funny that like
preps the bodies and stuff.
I do remember what it is about now.
But the guy that plays Dexter, Michael C. Hall, he plays a gay morticianer in it. It's like a really interesting, like different role, but kills it. But the beginning, like the dad runs the business, then the dad dies, and so the whole show is like
right.
Each family member coping with his death and having to continue on with what they're doing, and they all kind of step in to run the business and keep it going and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely did watch a bit of that. Now that you even fucking started telling me a bit more of that, but yeah.
Anyways, yeah, the ending of the show. Spoiler alert. The way they wrap it up is so good because, the last episode ends at whatever. And then they have a flash forward of every character in the show, and it shows them how they die. At what point in their life they die.
You know what? I think I did watch that because yeah. It actually even rings a bell. Like, yeah.
So you're like, oh, that was the last episode, and then it goes black, and then it comes up again, and then it's like it shows the mom at whatever age doing whatever scenario where she dies, and then it goes to the next character. Could be a year later or whatever, and then so it shows you how everyone dies, and like in the different scenarios, whatever, and then it's just totally wrapped up. You're like, okay, like I can walk away like not expecting there to be another season one day or like something there. It's like it's completely done.
It's like when they've actually
and I was
structured a story,
and I was like, I can't believe that's the first time I've ever seen anyone do that. And I was like, damn, I was like, shit, I'm done with this show. I was like, it's done. Cool.
Like,
I was like, damn. I was like so satisfied with that.
I'm trying to think of anything that might
I've never seen anything like that. Every character, you're like, fuck. All right.
Seinfeld in an awkward way. They just like ended. They're just like, well, we're all in jail now.
Yeah. What was the Friends one?
I don't remember. I've recently started rewatching Friends, but like just every once in a while I'd throw on a couple episodes. It's so funny. Just have on in the background. Just like,
because you know it so fucking well.
Yeah.
Right? And then you can hear it and you know exactly what's going on, right?
Yeah, that's for fucking true, dude. Fucking, what else did I just start watching? I just started watching The Punisher. I'm a few episodes into that.
The Netflix original show.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not great.
I like the actor.
Yeah. You can understand why that they fucking delayed the launch of it after fucking Ferguson shooting and the fucking Vegas shooting. It's just like there's some scenes in that shit where you're just kind of like, ooh.
Yeah, pretty hardcore.
Like, there's like fucking one scene when he's just like, it flashes
how
to.
How far in are you?
I'm like four episodes or 5 episodes. I don't know. I kind of like half pay attention to a bunch of it because I'm like kind of like, this is a show I don't have to be like very invested in. And like I said, like I kind of had the attitude about it from like watching it very invested for the first few episodes where it was like, I'm kind of like, it's good.
Yeah. I thought it was just. I was like, but I mean,
that's literally like.
I think I watched 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I'll continue watching it. But,
yeah, like that's literally the attitude I have about it. Where I'm like, I'll continue watching, but I won't intently. I don't know. It's just, it's awkward lines for sure.
I liked the movie, the last movie they did.
Which one was the last one?
The one that had,
they did.
John Travolta played the mob.
That one was
boss.
good. Yeah. I did enjoy that one.
That actor's sick.
Yeah.
Fucking dude, I always forget his name. The guy from Deep Blue Sea. And then he was in a Netflix movie I watched recently. It was a Netflix original. Is it called like 1922 or something? It's a Stephen King book that they made into a Netflix original movie.
Yeah.
And he plays this farmer. And he's like, his wife wants to divorce him, but he wants to like keep the farming thing going, tries to like kind of buy it or like split shares with her or something, and then obviously, well, it's Stephen King, so obviously shit goes awry.
Yeah.
But it was he did a good job in that role because he just got like this crazy like Southern accent, and he's lost a lot of weight.
It's crazy.
I didn't even know it was him,
shit, man. Like,
at first, because like especially how he sounds, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Man, like some actors like go through the craziest transformation for their roles. Like they'll
Did you see
beat the shit out of themselves.
What's his name recently?
Are you talking about Jonah Hill?
No, I was gonna say Christian Bale.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's he like gained all this weight.
Oh, that's right.
And shaved his head, and he's gonna be fucking Cheney or something.
Was it for Dick Cheney?
I think
so. I think that is right.
In a new film.
Yeah, he looks fucking...
I was like, whoa, what the fuck? See if you can find this photo of him, dude. I was like...
I'm sure you can. It's the fucking internet.
He's really weird. Drama. He's like kind of leaned back, like has this weird smile on and shit. And I was like, damn.
Where? Holy shit.
Yeah, that's not
the photo. I know. There's one where it's like... where is
holy
it?
Fuck, The Machinist.
That shit's crazy, man.
Dude.
Where's that one?
Because he's almost has like a shaved head.
Oh, there it is, isn't it?
Where?
No.
It's almost like a movie poster with no words around him. It's like...
I do know.
Just look up Christian Bale, Dick Cheney.
Christian Bale. Oh, I'm afraid to type in Christian Bale Dick. There you go.
There's even another one where he's like smiling weird.
That's so crazy. Yeah, like he's just that guy's gone through some crazy ass transformations.
Dude,
over
bring
his
up
time.
that
I think it's
one,
that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. Doesn't even look like him.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
Bring up the photo of his like from The Machinist, his like skinny one. It was on the left.
Oh, it was right there.
Yeah, like kind of that blue background. Dude.
Yeah, it's just so fucked.
That's insane.
So like I think it was about 9 months after that role, he gained all the weight back in muscle to become Batman.
Was Batman after that? After
yeah,
The Machinist?
It was right after that one. Let me go, Christian
Dude,
Bale.
that's gotta be so rough on your body. I wonder how long it took him to prepare for that role, The Machinist. He starved himself. Like, dude.
Where's the one that shows? There was this one picture that had like the years on it, or like the time period. Just look at the morphing in the body. That's so fucked. I think it's this one. Yeah, here we go. Here's the fucking photo that I'm looking for. So it says, let me get on this right thing here.
Lost 63 pounds in 4 months for the machinist role. And then once that was done, he gained 100 pounds in 6 months.
6 months. I said 9. That's crazy.
So in 10 months, he lost 63 pounds and then gained 100 pounds back.
So he fluctuated his body fucking 163 pounds
in 10 months. So think about that random person you see like once a year, twice a year. So imagine seeing him within 10 months at both ends.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
what's going
dude,
on?
Oh my God, are you okay? You're so skinny. Like, you're dying. Yeah. And then seeing him fucking 10 months later, and he's just fucking shred city. And you're like,
Jesus
what?
Christ. And then you just so happen to not see him for another decade, and you show up and you see him like this. In his Dick Cheney fucking role.
Yeah,
you're like,
right?
What's going on with you, dude?
You're like, dude.
Who are you? I'm Batman.
Right?
I'm Batman.
He's on fucking something.
That's crazy, dude.
That's fucking dedication. But imagine so obviously you can see like the transformation to your body, but imagine what that does to like your brain.
Shreds. Oh God, dude. It'd be nuts. It'd just
right?
wreak havoc on you, man. Because fucking like
that's gotta not be fucking bueno, you know?
No, not at all, dude. With like the simple fact that like how important your gut bacteria is and shit, even like you're just destroying your body to go through any of that stuff. Like that's fucking crazy, dude. Like props, I guess.
Well, fuck, man, that paycheck must be nice.
Yeah, it might be pretty nice,
right? Because
a little bit of a paycheck that guy's getting.
It's fucking with your health, right?
Hang on a second. Let's go. Since we're talking about paycheck here, let's go. Christian Bale.
Christian.
Net worth. Oh, he's only worth about 80 million. You know,
that's it.
A few M's.
That's just not that much, dude.
I'll take
it's like
it.
Some actors get like 14 or like 18 like for a movie.
Yeah, but that's still fucking, by the time that they get taxed on that, it gets brought back and they pay their fucking agent and the whole shit. That's like net worth, right? So meh.
It doesn't. Yeah.
So fucking
what's trending over there?
Let's see if I can find this story still.
So do you have like when shit pops up, you like, is there like you save stuff?
Yeah,
so like a way to like save and like read later kind of shit.
I haven't figured that portion out yet, but
it's like it's the add to list for Twitter, you know?
Yeah, well, fucking, I was just reading it last night that apparently British Columbia has finally laid out a plan for legalizing marijuana.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before.
No, but it's like actually like they've instated the fact that they've finally gone through with laying out the plan of legal age, who's going to be distributing it, or how much it's like, all that kind of stuff. The actual plan to
how much you can buy, how much you can have.
BC plan for marijuana.
How thick your joints can be.
Legalization. And so it's kind of weird because it's up in the air.
The shit, it's so gray area, man.
Fuck. See, this is why I wish I still had that goddamn story, because they were actually going into it and they actually had. I should have saved the whole thing.
It's on Global?
Yeah, no, dude. It's actually like being put into
it's a video story.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it though because I haven't researched what any of these videos are. So, so like for basically, it's gonna be treated just like alcohol here, where you're gonna have to be 19 years of age. They're gonna be distributing it through the BC liquor like, so that's kind of the weird portion right now is it's gonna be government mandated. Like, you're not gonna be able to have our private dispensaries like we have already, I don't think.
So they'll shut those down?
I think so. So okay, here we go. So yeah, basically it's saying that British Columbia has become the latest province to outline its plan for regulation of recreational marijuana, announcing Tuesday that pot sales would be allowed through both public and private stores to both buyers who are at least 19 years of age. The age of consumption, purchase, and possession of marijuana will be consent with alcohol and tobacco laws. Solicitor General Mike Farmworth said it in a news release. So yeah, we're the first one after having almost 50,000 residents and 141 local and indigenous governments made submissions during a provincial government consultation period ahead of the federal government's legalization of non-medical cannabis in July. So yeah, it's like, it's not just even kind of like dude, there's been rumblings of it for the last 20 years, right? Yeah. But now they're actually like fucking like laying out an official plan for the whole thing and taking the fucking steps to make it happen, because I think with all my whole thought process on it is that with all the private dispensaries that they've allowed as of recent, they've seen how much fucking money can actually be made from it. And then that in combined with the overall complaint that everybody has about real estate and the whole thing about how, you know, oh, stop foreign investors and buying in fucking Vancouver, stop people being able to like buy houses if they have the money and like that whole thing,
and
right?
Not use them.
Yeah, well, the gross part on the back end of that is that I found out that they passed a act about 35 years ago that was the Foreign Investors Act that basically allowed investors like to buy property the way that they do and get a certain tax break on it, and because it basically, I don't remember the whole gist behind it. I have to look up the actual fucking the logistics behind that portion, but essentially the government then planned out, okay, with this whole act we should be able to bring in X amount of dollars per year for the government to put back into our system and shit, right? So for those last 35 years, that projected amount has been in a surplus of 60% of what they've projected the amount would be. So we've been so that money that they've been making from the Foreign Investors Act has become the number one force of income for the government over the last 35 years. So when people are like, yo, fuck, stop all this foreign investing, blah, 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 they're like, You mean what's funding our country?
Yeah.
You mean what's paying our fucking bills? Like, wait, what? You want to stop that? So then now all of a sudden they see stuff like this where they have opportunities to start making bank and, you know, what is a popular topic. I think they're kind of starting to be like, okay, maybe we should start, you know.
There's other avenues, I guess. Right?
Exactly, right? So I'm hoping that is under the guise of what this is actually being pushed forward, that it's actually just like
PC releases,
you know,
for legal marijuana.
So it'll be interesting to see if this is actually going through, because from what I read through on everything, they've like there was actually a laid out plan that had been written out.
Plan of action for like 2020 or
I don't know when they were saying fucking I don't remember seeing dates on the shit, but no, it was definitely way before then. Like it was like soon. Like they were like, we want to make this happen. We like, here's our plan to make it happen that we're proposing from the thing. Like it's basically the next step after like, yo, okay, so the public has essentially voted that we need this to happen. Like now let's fucking lay out our fucking actual business plan for it and figure it out, because clearly the public wants it and we could make a shitload of money.
Stupid money.
Money.
Stupid.
Like literally, like so much shit would be paid for and taken care of. The fucking magic plant would work its fucking fucking magic, you know?
Yeah, man.
Full pun intended, right?
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, man. So fucking that might actually be something we see over the next fucking 5 years, I'd say.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's been so fucking all over the place, and it's such a gray area that they just need to either just do it or
Yes.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Like it's just they've just been teetering, and it's just all this up in the air shit where you're just like,
Yeah.
just yes or no, you know?
Exactly. And then through even now with like the amount of information that we have, we all have goddamn supercomputer in our freaking pocket where you can literally just like look up studies and be like, what do you mean this shit's bad for you? Look at all those people that's helping. Like,
right? Yeah. You're like, what do you mean? What do you mean propaganda?
Yeah, fucking
what
exactly.
Do you mean Bark says by it?
Yeah, what do you mean fucking alcohol is good for you?
Yeah.
You know, like
it's a fucking poison.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So we're starting to see the fight back against a lot of that stuff now with just the prevalence of information, right? Where it's just like, you know what I mean? Like even like if you got busted by a cop nowadays for like smoking weed at like a school or some shit, I used to all happen to me all the time when I was a teenager. Like he would, even then when they were busting us, they were kind of like, yeah, like we got to do this.
Come on, dudes. Let's do it at your house, man.
Yeah, for real, right? Whereas now, like they probably got to feel like fucking ass hats. Like for real.
Fucking ass clowns.
Like for real, you gotta feel like fucking like just full up in your cop car, your little fucking, y'all pull out of your clown car like a bunch of fucking cronies, like to bust some kids for smoking weed.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, this is a great fucking use of fucking taxpayer dollar. Like when like there's like actual crimes going on like in our like backyard nowadays, fucking arson and people getting stabbed and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, man? So yeah, I don't know. Interesting things.
To say the least.
That's for sure, dude.
Yeah, man. Sick. That was a Twitter one.
Yeah, that was just like some Twitter news that popped up. But that's where like I can find the latest like up to date news that I find a lot of the times. Obviously, you go past the
and
like
it's
what's
tailored,
trending.
right, to like what shit you care about.
Yeah. It is in a sense, but like you have to go past the trending news. You have to go past the other the shit to just like find out like what's top today. Because then that's more or less like what's top stories in the news today kind of thing.
Right.
Whereas like I find it so hard on other stuff where it's like everything is just so we're in the fake news era where everything is just like, yo, we need a story like now.
Yeah.
And it needs to get more clicks than the other fucking person's story. And fuck facts checking. Let's just do it.
Fuck facts checking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, did you ever watch that movie? Is it Nightcrawler? The Jake Gyllenhaal, where he's one of those dudes that films stuff for the news, like where he goes and films stuff and then he brings it into the newsrooms to sell them the video.
I've heard about that though. Yeah.
Is it Nightcrawler? Is that what it's called?
I think that was the name of it.
Dude, that shit is so good. It's so well done, but they do a good job of kind of showing you how that industry works.
Right.
Even though it's like it follows a certain storyline, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not like a documentary, but it kind of gives you a good insight of how that world kind of works, of how people go and film shit and then they bring it into news stations to sell it to them, and like how they barter and how they mess with footage and shit because like sweeps weeks and they want ratings.
Oh, for sure.
But dude, yeah, he kills that role. He plays a really interesting character. I won't say much more than that, but 100% you would fuck with that movie.
Yeah.
I watched it a
they
couple
just
times.
came out with a fucking TV show that's like that similar kind of idea on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. Yeah, exactly. I think that's more. Is it a show or like a documentary?
I haven't watched it myself, but I just kind of saw it was.
I feel like it was like it's like a real life thing though.
Yeah, it is real life thing. Yeah.
So watch that movie and then watch that, and you'll appreciate it even more.
And so it's the Nightcrawler or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, so good, dude.
Yeah, that's hype. Fucking. Fuck. What else was going on recently that was interesting as fuck?
You seem like you had a couple like fucking hot topics.
Well, that was the main one. Fucking, and then I brought up the other shit earlier on.
The Dream.
You know what? Maybe that was fucking the main bits for this week. I'll bring it up if I think of anything else. But yeah, fucking, it's just fucking interesting times right now. That's for damn sure. Like,
Always is.
I'm fucking dude. The funniest one was like after the Black Friday madness, how you were just like, man, like fucking seeing all the shit,
disgusting people act.
Yeah. So for the week after, there was a trend on Twitter that was fucking Black Friday, Cyber Monday regrets or whatever, where it was just people being like pretty much what we were talking about, like to the T, where we said that like people would like
Don't
black
act
out
like themselves.
yeah, they like black out and wake up. They're like, people would be like,
what happened?
Yeah, like what happened? I came home with like $400 worth of this kind of shit that I'm never going to use, but am I going to return it? No.
Yeah.
And then like just like all these tweets about like, should I return this? Should I return that? Nah, fuck it. Thrill of the chase. And then just like all of this shit where it was just like Black Friday, Cyber Monday regrets. Just like fucking, that was a trending thing. That was just like, it's part of, that's the rush. It's people's rush, man.
But it's all for nothing. It's a completely fabricated holiday, and it's become like
it's blown
thing
up
people
so crazy,
and it wasn't even a thing in Canada until a couple years ago, and then we adopted the fucking Black Friday, and then afterwards we're like, there's a Cyber Monday thing too.
It goes crazy because like
within a couple of years it became the fucking, it's like the Christmas day people wait for now.
It's the number one
it's completely
it's
made
the number
up.
one fucking
shopping
day
holiday.
of spending in the year. It is.
It's fucked.
But you know what? I found out that the reason what I don't know whether this one was fully true or not, but the reason for Black Friday, which makes fully sense and why even I would use it or do use it with my companies, is that it's called Black Friday.
Get rid of your fucking stock.
Well, because it's to bring your company, it's your last chance to bring your company out of the red for the year into the black.
Last quarter.
Yeah. Where basically you're sitting on a bunch of stock, you're sitting on other stuff, so you might as well fucking get rid of it. And then in a sense to help bring your company back into the black, because nobody wants to end off the year in debt, so fucking. And to that, guys, I'm like, fucking, like, it helps me every fucking year. Fuck yeah. Fucking, but it gets so crazy where it gets blown up, like you say, where it becomes.
It's like
frenzy.
that shit. I like, the small business, but I mean, to me, it's like the shit, like the Walmart where people fucking just riot and they're fist fighting for a rice cooker when they're like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
That's the shit that I just find disgusting.
When you get the fucking the videos when they're like Black Friday in America and it's the rioting and people going crazy or whatever, and then it's like, the first Black Friday sale just happened in Canada, and then like the door opens and one dude walks in with his Tim Hortons cup and he's like, "Hi, good morning."
I saw a clip of that. It was like I think it was in the UK, and it was a single dude walking.
Yeah, they had another one like that. Yeah, that I just.
And I was like,
yeah, he was just like, it was so comedic. Everybody was like cheering him on, and he's like, "Hi."
He's like, "Oh shit, what's up, guys?"
Yeah, it's so like, I don't know, man. It's fucking. It's the animalistic nature of people that fucking comes out in the funniest ways. Yeah,
man.
Pack mentality shit is crazy.
The mob mentality.
Yeah.
Man. Scary.
That's for reals, man.
Scary.
Fucking, you got any fucking exciting shit happening in your over this next week? Just fucking
not really, man. Honestly, I just like been working, training. I got like a lot of training I've been doing. Doing early starts and doing stuff late, and then just been going to the gym every day. I do like mornings, I do like stretches, push-ups, sit-ups, and then at night at the end of my day I go like to the gym, like get some cardio, run, lift some weights. But I've been consistently doing it for it's like almost a month now. So I'm like,
such a difference.
I just passed that mark when I was saying last time where like it's like 20 something days of something consistently that you like you break through and your body accepts something as a routine. And it's like it's just easy for you now. So like I've passed that now. So it's like it's just another thing I just broke through
my fucking my cardio barrier where it takes about like 5 to 10 days of like solid work getting back to where it's like my cardio is on point where it should be. And then now I can do the other stuff on top of that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same thing where it's just like I've been trying to do so much that like I need this thing to work and then this to work. And they're cohesive.
They're all
it's all part
teamwork.
Yeah, exactly. Teamwork makes the dream work,
Straight up.
Body's a fucking machine, so I got to keep her going. Fucking Christ. But fucking seeing the sun, like, what a difference, though. Holy shit.
Yeah, this week, just...
Sun comes out and you're like, oh, why am I so much more attentive?
I've just been like a fucking wet dog outside, man.
Dude, I bet.
So rough, so cold, and just soaked.
Yeah. So at least I think we're supposed to have nice weather for like the next like week or so. So should be good. Fucking...
Yeah, man.
Should be good.
It's cold as fuck, but it's...
Yeah. Yeah, it gets extra cold when it's nice out.
Sunny, so
I'll take a little bit of vitamin D action.
Hell
wake
yeah,
up
man.
and fucking throw on some layers. Fuck it.
Yeah,
I'm all about that layer season.
Cozy season.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, fucking I don't know. Should we wrap her up for today?
Not about desert.
Awesome. Well, fucking we'll be back for Sunday pod.
Yeah, man. See you guys on the weekend.
See y'all on the weekend. Have yourself a great week.
Happy hump day.
Yeah, happy hump day. And fucking let's get it this week, fam.
Oh, peace.
Peace.